Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect on an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create. He's cute. Please consider supporting my work. All the links are in the description below this video. AppendixCreations211.com is where you can see all these beautiful pyramids that are behind me. I still have to put back a lot of them that I didn't sell at the vending event. Maybe they're meant for you. Um, Business card holders, candles, skulls, all kinds of good stuff is on my website. It's a portfolio. If you're interested in any of it, please email me. That's the best way you will get into contact with me and we could do business. 3D membership, 4D memberships, or membership tiers that you can choose if you still like to help this channel out and help me out. It keeps everything running, the internet bill, Zoom, and other things. You guys get special emojis. Little Thor, come on now. You also get channel member only access to Oracle card readings. I do 4 a month. And let me just say, I'll tell you why I didn't upload today. But I have a plethora and they're over an hour and I charge it $40 for an hour, which is pretty cheap from what a lot of people are telling me, but you're still getting a really good value for getting that 4 times a month. When I am able to do raffles, you guys get entries. 3D gets 1, 4D gets 2. Also, 4D channel members are getting inside access to my presentations and coursework. So I'm working on stuff. I will present, I'll make a video and I'll see if you guys like my presentation. You guys can actually, banter back with me and then make it better because it's not just about me, it's about all of you as well. And all of you who are participating in it are just, it's helping humanity. Let's just put it that way. So thank you, everybody who are already channel members. I really appreciate you. I had so much that I needed to get done today. And you know what happened? Snow. Not that I wasn't anticipating the snow because Friday Night Live, I went like 5 hours and 55 minutes and 35 seconds. But I knew the snow was coming. I'm working on a drawing. I'm also listening to videos and taking some notes. And then the rest of the day was shoveling. And then I needed to I did take a detox bath. Because shoveling hurts. And I have a plow, but that's still pushing it against sleeves hurts. Little Thor is taken care of. He's in his little cat mansion right now. The heating pad doesn't seem to be like working. I like we're collapsing a paradigm right now. I am shifting into a new reality, and I am not trying to let the universe just suck me dry. So we're not going to talk about much of that, but I might consider putting up an Amazon wish list for Freya, Little Thor, and Baby P. Not that Baby P will eventually move on, but for food and maybe a little heating pad and stuff of that nature, because things are really not going the best. And this happens. The universe does this right before a massive thing happens, but in the moment of now, um, I'm at absolute zero singularity collapse with finances and just my car is still not starting. I need a starter. Thankfully, it's in my driveway, but it's going to remain there. And now I don't know how to get food or go to the store or get errands done. We'll figure it out, but this is where I'm at, and I'm not, what am I going to do? So that's where I'm at, guys. So if you could contribute, help me at the moment, I'd appreciate it. It's okay if you can't. I get it. Things are expensive. We're all just trying to get by. Every little counts. The voice of ISIS. We're going to read Appendix B. I needed to get a video in today. I am going to try to start pulling my cards so that I can make a video um for our channel members. Hopefully it's out. It's still snowing. It's still snowing. That's I have a hat on because it is cold and I'm probably gonna have to go back out. So yeah. So this is Appendix B, the voice of ISIS, the announcement. Behold, I bring unto you good tidings of great joy to all students of the higher life who truly desire to progress and who wish the opportunity of coming into closer personal touch with those masters of wisdom, who through all ages have been the teachers, guides, and elder brothers of humanity. There comes the following message. In accordance with the geometrical design of the universe, a point in evolution is now reached when an advanced order has been established upon the earth plane. This order is not an organization in the general acception of the term, nor is it connected either with the outer or inner work of any other occult organization now in existence on the physical plane. It is a new unifying spiritual movement put forth by the great intelligences who are the guides and teachers of humanity. According to its fundamental principles, only such earnest students can be admitted to full membership as have proven their devotion to humanity and have sent out their cry for further enlightenment and help. All such persons are welcomed into the order, and such probationary lessons will be sent to them from time to time as will afford them an opportunity of coming into close fellowship and conscious communion with the masters of wisdom. Understand this point clearly. It will be only through your own individual effort, your attitude of soul, and the character of your subsequent life that will enable you to place yourself in personal conscious touch with the masters. It depends upon no personality but your own. No vows or pledges are asked of associated students, for only those are eligible to full membership in this order who have voluntarily given up their lives to the higher law and have already vowed allegiance to their own higher self. But all who sincerely desire the help this order offers are welcomed as associate students. The teachings of this order will not conflict with any duties of life or with the membership in other organizations, memberships, or any religious denominations. My thoughts, because we're going to go into Appendix C after this. I like that ending. We all have to live. I forgot the exact person that said this, Rudolf Steiner, I want to believe, that you still have to live your third dimensional existence. You still have to walk your everyday life. You still have to work a job and you still have to maintain a house and or an apartment or wherever you live, right? Even your tent, you have to maintain. You have to make sure you have the basic necessities for your physical vehicle to thrive. So I like that your practices should not be overbearing and should not consume the entirety of your life. I know today, I got a grounding bath and I barely ever get to do that. And I had the time to do that today and I did it and I needed it for multiple reasons. But even meditation, we're looking at these people that are out there that go and have the time and the money to sit in meditation for hours. It's great. Not all of us can afford that. Not all of us can actually sit there in the silence for that long. Be gentle with yourselves, be compassionate. You have to start somewhere. And it's just quieting your mind. That is not easy to do. Um, just know that just show up for yourself. Just show up for yourself. And I like what this order is saying. It's not about religion, even though they bring in a lot of it in terms of biblical quotes and the Gnostic work. If you want to do good for humanity, I don't care what you practice. I don't care if you're pagan to Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim to Judaism. You practice Judaism. Buddhist to Hinduism. You're working on behalf of Source for humanity. That's all that matters. So this is Appendix C, special information. The Order of the 15 is but one name for a great cosmic order which has always existed, and through such which all souls who have reached mastery have passed on some plane at a certain stage of their evolution. It has been represented upon the earth plane at certain cyclic intervals in all ages, and it has been known under various names. Its manifestation upon the earth plane during the present cycle began on January 1st, 1908 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And in less than 3 years, it encircled the globe, having pupils including Christian and Buddhistic missionaries in China, Japan, India, and the heart of Africa, as well as in almost every civilized country of the globe. The Order of the 15. The Order of the 15 is a non-sectarian movement for the promulgation of Christian mysticism. It is a response to the heart hunger of humanity for a clearer understanding of the laws of the Christ life. It is not put forth to form a new sect or cult, to further divide up and separate humanity, or to form another pigeonhole in which to isolate a few fellows, nor does it come to secure a following for any human leader or personality. It is an impersonal and universal unifying spiritual movement without creed, dogma, rules, or pledges. Instead of emphasizing the differences between its teachings and all others, it strives to establish a platform so universal that its peoples can find in it some one thing to which they can agree, even though the one thing be not the same for all, and thus become a link to join the best efforts of all into one great universal effort to make brotherhood manifest on earth. See? For brotherhood does not mean all thinking alike, yes, but each recognizing truth wherever found and demonstrating love and tolerance toward those who find a different aspect of truth more helpful. What a world we would be in if we can all just acknowledge this and do it in this real world right now. I'm going to put a pause here because I think it's important. When we emphasize to others, you have to find the truth. Okay, so truth is at the frequency of where your brain is consciously resonating at. My truth, my experience, my wisdom I walk through, my feelings, my perception are not going to be the same as anybody else. I'm a unique fractal of source, and my truth, my ways of comprehending the way my body, my soul, my higher self delivers information is unique to this vehicle. We come up to similarities of what we deem as truth, but it's up to the individual human to know its own. And then we go into the collective consciousness. And then we depict like, okay, like right or wrong, but there is really that's all illusory because in any sense, everybody depicts what is true to them differently. And we all need to come into an agreement with that at base level. We have to find the truth. You have to remember it. And everybody's depiction of Atlantis, Lemuria, Tartaria, the mud floods, the disclosure, whatever's going on in our now moment, there's always someone on the other side of that coin. It's still the same coin, experiencing, seeing, feeling, and having the truth different from yours. So why can't we just come into a truth that we need a better humanity? We would love to unite, and even though we all have our differences of thinking and ways of being, that we can come together like humanity after 9/11. Can that be that difficult? I always bring up the analogy when 9/11 happened, I didn't see anybody stopping somebody for their ID before they ran into the building to go help. I didn't see anybody asking, "Do you have a bra under your shirt?" to a man. I never saw anybody ask, are you Muslim? Are you Jewish? Are you this? Are you that? Like, no one cared. No one cared because in crisis time, people are running toward danger and toward imminent death to save others in that building. No one was asking what your credentials were either. The willingness of human nature. No one cared if the guy, the bum on the corner, would also help that day. Are you going to deny him his truth? God's in all things. And everybody plays a different role in that dichotomy. Really need to stop. This order does not ask its pupils to leave any church, society, or organization in which they feel they can do their best work for humanity. It but seeks to help all to understand the workings of the great fundamental law of love, and thus enable them to do their work the better in their own way and place. It asks no one to subordinate his individuality or to follow any leader, but leaves all free to follow the truth as revealed to them. It does not require that any of its teachings be accepted by its students because some authority says they are true. For unless a teaching appeals to the heart and rings true to a soul, it is not true to that soul. That's key right there. Truth is not an abstract principle. It is that which remains as pure gold after passing through the fires of daily living and testing. Hence, no authority is enforced except the authority of the voice within each heart, which recognizes and witnesses to truth wherever found. Organizations. All organizations and movements which receive help from the masters of wisdom have their own particular work to do, whether they have succeeded in the tasks set before them or whether they have failed. It is clearly shown by their results. And the same rule must be applied to the work of this order. But many students have outgrown organizations, having found them too narrow and their necessary limitations too binding. This is but a natural feature of growth, and again proves the great law as above, so below. Just as a seed, when first planted, is confined in a protective sheath from which, in the process of growth, it will burst forth. Hence, an avenue of instruction and help has been put forth that is not an organization and which is not limited to its activities. This movement is not an organization because it has no constitution or bylaws, no officers, except the secretary, requires no pledges, no dues, and does not restrict a student's activity in any society or organization. Therefore, it is not an antagonistic to or a rival of any existing organization that is helping humanity, but permits perfect freedom. It holds out the hand of brotherhood to each and gives to all an opportunity to prove the ideals of brotherhood and tolerance with which they profess. As to other movements, although we emphasize our relation to organizations in the beginning by placing the statement in italics, yet it is overlooked by many. Therefore, we will restate our position more fully here with, so that in the future, there may be no question as to the significance of this movement and its relation to all others. We can but reiterate that while we are not connected in any way with the outer or inner workings of any other organization now on the earth plane, nevertheless, we stand for truth wherever found, our motto being, "By their fruits ye shall know them." Under no circumstances do we criticize any. If an organization, society, or movement has helped one's soul to take one step upon the path of mastery, it has not wrought in vain. Whosoever shall give a drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done unto me. The fact that a teaching attracts and helps you is evidence that it contains the lessons needed by you for the step you are taking. The fact that a movement no longer appeals to you, no matter how helpful it may be to others, is evidence either that your soul has learned the lessons that movement had for you, even though not mastered intellectually, or that the movement, no matter how beautifully conceived and launched, has become tainted with something that is not helpful, or perhaps distinctly injurious to your physical, mental, moral, or spiritual growth. Hence, to remain connected with any organization to which you no longer feel drawn or which you have outgrown is detrimental to your soul growth, as it would be for a flower to remain in a pot which had become too small for it, or whose soil had become exhausted or contaminated. No vows given to any earthly organization can bind a soul which through natural growth has evolved beyond them. Each movement that aims to help humanity has its own place and its own work. Colored blocks are necessary in the kindergarten, primary for children, textbooks for the training of the mind in school and college, but when the mind has been trained, it must then put the training to use in a practical way. In business, under the head of a firm or a manager, in art, under a great teacher, in spiritual things, under a master of wisdom. But remember that because you are no longer interested in the color blocks or primers you once thought so beautiful, you are not to despise the children who are still clinging to them, or find fault with the teachers of the ABCs. All have their place, and the children will grow away from the blocks when they have learned their lessons, just as you have grown. And the proof that you have outgrown earthly organizations will be the love and tolerance with which you treat all your brothers and sisters who still feel the need of such methods. To rail at organizations, especially one which has helped you to reach your present state, and those who work in them, is proof that you still need their discipline. Every uplifting movement or teaching has its place and has for followers those who need its lessons. Aims of this movement. One of the chief objects of this movement is to correlate and advance philosophical teachings with the Orthodox Christian teachings, to form a neutral ground where both can meet and recognize truth, and to reach the great mass of people who will not join organizations or occult societies of any kind. On this account, we may disappoint many intellectual students, for our language will purposely be made simple, and the great truths will be set forth, will be so stated as to appeal to the mind schooled in Western religious thought. Our great object is to enable all sections of spiritual seekers, New Thought, spiritualism, theosophy, Christianity, in fact, all lovers of truth, to draw together at the heart center. This is a necessary preparation for the near advent of the great spiritual teacher for the Western world, who is soon to appear, the Avatar. The good news of his quick coming must be given unto all people, not merely to a few intellectual thinkers. All schools of spiritual thought need this preparation. The great psychic awakening now sweeping over the land has brought many students to the point where their inner faculties are unfolding. This is a point of great danger, for here the two paths, the right hand and the left hand, diverge. This order may be called a wayside house of rest, placed at the point of divergence on the paths, at whose door every pilgrim who knocks finds welcome, and within rest, sympathy, understanding, and encouragement, also a guide to lead him safely past the many dangers and pitfalls that surround the entrance to the right-hand path. This is a personal work which cannot be accomplished in any organization limited by set rules. While the teaching of this order are those of the wisdom religion, they are not theosophic in the sense of being put forth by any of the numerous societies promulgating such teachings, for they deal with the Christian Bible quite as much as with Eastern teachings. One object of these teachings is to bring to the attention of the world as simply as possible the pearls of wisdom in the teachings of the Master Jesus, pearls that have been overlaid with worldly misconceptions long as to be almost unrecognizable. As all religions, sects, and creeds contain at least a germ of truth, our aim is to help each one to find that germ in his own teachings and to purify and develop it into the tree of life in his own garden. We thus help them to purify their conception of truth as expressed in their own religion. There is a real necessity for the various presentations of truth as given to the world, for just as the climate, flora, and fauna of a country and the language and customs of its people vary in different parts of the world, so must truth garb itself in I don't know how to pronounce that word. Either way, I'm not going to, we're just going to skip. To the modes of thought of people to whom it is given. There is deep occult reason underlying this law, and St. Paul recognized it when he said, by ye all things unto all men. There comes a time, however, in all organized bodies giving our spiritual teachings, when some student will advance as far as further than the leaders of the organization. And since it is only natural for such leaders to assume that they are more advanced than any of their students, in harmony and dissatisfaction or even secession result. In the development of all students, a point is reached where they need the advanced personal instruction, not of any leaders who are themselves but students, but of one who has his command all knowledge and all wisdom, a master of wisdom. It is in answer to this personal need that the Lodge of Masters has put forth the Order of 15 at this time. It comes as a direct response to the prayers of many, many hearts for more light, love, sympathy, and personal guidance in the problems of their spiritual life. As this content is to be the home of a new race, which will ultimately perfect itself by survival and interblending of the fittest of all races now existing, so must its religious thought be blended and purified, that it may emerge as pure ray which has gathered into itself the force from all its subrays. The order of the 15 is put forth in an effort to awaken the Christ love in the hearts of men, rather than to cater to the intellect or the desire for psychic powers. For only those who can correlate with the Christ power can be gathered together to form a nucleus in which the power can be individualized on earth. The aim of this movement is especially to help all Christian people to find deep underlying vital truths common to all religions and their own, and thus truly in the only way possible prepare for an universal brotherhood on earth in which each soul shall find the same vital truth spoken in his language, couched and taught in terms of religion in which he was born. Financial obligations. In this present age, the masters must work through human agencies, and moment you determine to give of yourself and your worldly substance to this work, you become their recognized agent. But if you desire to help humanity through this avenue and to receive the personal training necessary to do efficient work and have no worldly substance to give, do not hesitate on that account, for you can only give of that which you have to give. In such an order, dues as such would be impossible, for there can be no price placed upon spiritual truth. But as the workers at the headquarters give their time and talents without salary, and as the expenses incident to a worldwide movement must be provided for, it is expected that all who desire to help will voluntarily aid the work by contributions in accordance with their ability and the law of exact justice. It is a primal law of occultism that no matter how much is set before you, you are able to assimilate only in exact ratio with the spirit of helping others which you display. If the teachings help you, it will be evidence that they can help others, hence that you can best serve humanity by making it possible to spread these teachings abroad. Of course, this movement cannot be carried on without financial support, and it greatly needs such support, for the law of justice permits humanity to be helped only to the extent that through your own efforts, it makes it possible for the help to reach it. If you feel an inner urge to study with us, and if you find that the lessons help you, you will naturally desire to make it possible for other souls to receive the same. Therefore, out of pure love and desire to help others, you will give as much as you can afford, let all giving according to their ability. This ends the Appendix C, B, and C. I'm going to do a separate video for the prayers because there's a lot of them. A lot. And as I'm merging into this new quantum leap, new self thing, I want to just sit a little bit more with what's going on and not trying to pull back into my old timeline, but also at the same time, my energy is, I'm shifting light right now. My energy is not there yet. So hopefully by next week, I could just do the prayers. It's not that much, it's not that many, but it's something to help everybody, and I want it in one video. That last financial thing, I'm all about it. I think I just blew a light bulb out, or it has occurred. I can't really do much. You know, when I have it, I have it. And when I don't, I don't. And if it's not for the people that are subscribers and helpers and hyping and, clicking and liking and doing all that stuff, it doesn't matter. If you do it to what it is in your ability. I'm one of those people. I think wisdom and learning should be free. Of course, compensation comes to those who are able to give, and those who cannot still get the same access. I don't like when they do that with products. oh, this is gonna help heal you, but yet it is like super expensive and only those who can afford to get it. Yeah, that's not a fair system in this world, in my estimation at least. Everything does have a price. We still live in a materialistic, chaotic, fun land of pleasantries, but putting yourself out there is not an easy task, and I do appreciate everybody who has contributed and helped me get to this point of the now. I read their work because I really align with a lot. Not everything that they say do I align with, but the majority of their work I really do. And I think through each and every one of the books that I read, there is so many tidbits in there to help guide us through this ascension, raising up, quantum leaping, jumping into new timelines. We get back to the basics with the Curtises. With all the books that they have put out. And once again, 1908. Like earlier than that. Like they were onto something. They knew. They got the downloads. They got the channelings. Like what? They knew. And I think they left these beautiful preserved writings for all of us to navigate through this time, even though it's modernized and our world is a lot more complicated than the world that they lived in. Doesn't matter. There's still some fundamental things in there about going about your work, doing it righteously, that doesn't escape any dimension or density. You know, wow, I got the heat on under my desk. As a culture, as a race, as a nation, as a humanity, we need to understand everybody has a power within them. It's just a matter of stop being the loop, becoming cognizant of the cycles, comprehending what is going on in your life, and how to make the difference and walk the righteous path. And it's going to look differently for everybody. The wind is blustery outside. I got my cough at a tame. I shut the heat off. Um, I want to thank each and every one of you for following the Curtis books. I don't know why it hasn't taken off yet. Maybe it's just not time. It's illusory anyway. But I do want to thank everybody for supporting me and supporting this channel. Go to their website. I lied. Go to their website and go check out the plethora of books. There's PDF forms. A lot of their books can be found, but a lot of them you can't find. So go check them out. Obviously I gotta watch when I shovel because I am very puffy. I did drink a lot of water today and I kept myself hydrated. Good times. So I hope each and every one of you has a blessed and beautiful day. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within, be the shoulder, be the lighthouse, sprinkle and seed your truths, light that path forward, and I hope to see you all on the next one. Channel members, your card reading will be done tomorrow, and we'll see what comes with the wind. Until the next time, guys, have a blessed and beautiful day, and I hope you had a beautiful holiday weekend. And I hope that you're safe and seen wherever you are in the world. And bye for now.